proposals which are done and the one which are in preparation. Strong focus on research and innovation. You know most of that. You know, I don't need to read out what is said here. It's virtually what I said already. I refer again to the 3% target, that we have to press much more, that we make real progress and that we overcome the stagnation. The good news is also that about 25% of the cohesion fund will now be invested in research and development and innovation. There is a couple of concrete initiatives which have been launched last year. And again, maybe you know some of them: the European Partnership for Researchers, the joint programming between the member states, a new legal framework for European research infrastructure, a recommendation on the better management of intellectual property in knowledge transfer activities, and a strategic European framework for international science and technology. I believe personally that we need to go far more in the European collaboration. In my view, we should seriously discuss whether we shouldn't open the national R&D funding to European participation. I mean, it is taking place on a low basis, but if the member states would open their national R&D funding to a European competition, I think everybody will win. It would have a far stronger leverage than anything else, because then we would reach truly, and if that is then still done on excellence as a criteria, there will be a win-win situation for Europe and actually for the member states. I'm surprised that some of them are not taking that initiative already, because if you are a German, I mean, there will be a problem, obviously, a big discussion in the country. Why should we use our own taxes to finance also teams from outside? But if you argue that you only take the best to strengthen excellence, you get also the benefits from that research. But I think that's maybe a way forward with less bureaucracy and achieving at the same time a big impact. I mentioned some initiatives in the innovation area, a new state aid framework with new rules in particular to support young innovative enterprises, Small Business Act for Europe, again dedicated really at small and medium enterprises, which are the job engines and the growth engines in the European Union, as we know. More investment in education and university modernization with about 2% of the gross domestic product. I mean, you know the buzzwords, I don't repeat them, but again, the situation, if you look in Europe, is a disaster. I mean, we say we need more autonomy in universities and more accountability of the management. But if you look in the reality, and I was involved in transforming actually a university to this model, you see a big resistance and inertia with the people in charge, because they found themselves in such a comfortable situation with the way they were working that they are afraid of taking the risk to be accountable, to have management positions maybe on a 5-year limit instead of an official being an official. There is a lot of inertia which we have to overcome in our system in order to gain a more dynamic development. Proactive standardization, I don't need to say much. We are not exploring sufficiently to setting standards if we have innovations, if we have new research developments, and try to agree on a European basis on a standard and then gain a market penetration and setting maybe international standards. We are still weak in that, but this needs real collaboration between the member states to quickly agree on potential standards on a European level.